Angkor means city. Prom means big, so it's a big city. Built 800 years ago. The Khmer people in Cambodia. This is now the Bayon Temple in Angkor Thom. It started in the late 11th century. This is now the east entrance to the Banyan. So now I'm inside the temple. The gods they worship are Shiva and Vishnu, Hindu gods, but they also had a lot of Buddhism that they built into their beliefs as well. There's a combination Buddhism and Hinduism. This is now the south entrance. The other entrance that I started at was the east entrance. The whole complex of all the temples, and there are very many, covered 77 square miles. And there lived about 1 million people here at the time. This is now about a third of a mile away from the Bayon, the central religious site. There are many ruins scattered all around. The forest is now reclaiming it. This wall here is about 18 feet tall. This is now an outlying structure, 700 yards away from the main temple. This is now the other side of it. I'm now entering the area of Taprom. It was originally a Buddhist temple built from the reign of the emperor from 1181 to about 1215. These little group here are victims of landmines. In 1975, 1979, the Khmer Rouge killed well over 1 million people. Like the landmines everywhere. So now I'm inside the temple. The trees are starting to take over the place. Roots are going right into the temple.
Turn on camera. Turn on. Turn on.
Well, now I'm entering the most famous of all of the complexes, Angkor Wat. So here now is the main entryway. This is now the inner part of the temple. Angkor Wat actually means the city that is a temple. It was built in the 12th century. The towers there are shaped like lotus blossoms. It's in honor of the Vishnu god Vishnu, the Hindu god. Well, this is the temple itself. Inside a big complex. This is along now one of the outer walls. They're about 2,000 feet. Carved bas relief on the walls, depicting the history of the empire. This is now the main entrance to the central temple. It's brutally hot, well above 90 degrees. Here's now another site about 3 or 4 miles away from Angkor Wat called Prelum. Somewhat pinky stone, pink stone, a little more colorful. This is the interior of it. This is now the entry to Bantry Sri, another site about 10 miles away from Angkor Wat. This temple, Bantry Sri, is about 200 years older than Angkor Wat. There are temples. It was a Hindu temple, so it really wasn't a royal palace. And many of the carvings here are dedicated to Shiva, the god of destruction in the Hindu religion. These structures here in the central complex, they were built in the last half of the 10th century. Sort of whistle like that. He's playing, actually playing on a leaf. The leaf is vibrating in his mouth. Like they blow up later. Now back in Saigon. Chinatown now. Pig's Head. Nuts. This is a Chinese temple. Fujian. Fujian province. Fujian province. Province, something like that. That's the center of the temple there. Offering table here with bananas and chicken and fruits. More traffic. More traffic. This is now the pagoda of the famous the Sacred Horse, Wan Thong, built in 1902. There's the Sacred Horse. Stroke them, ring the bell for good luck. Hanging from the ceiling here, you see these incense circular devices. Around and around.
Big point out here.
Yes. Well, I'm now standing atop of what now is called the Reunification Palace. Back in 1975, it was a presidential palace. In April 75, when the South Vietnam country capitulated to the north, who invaded it, this here was the spot where American helicopters were landing and evacuating refugees. And down below there the Soviet Chinese-made tanks rumble up the gates. American embassy was about half a mile down the street there. Well, actually, this is the back of the building. More likely, this was a landing spot for helicopters, seeing it's a little bit larger. And this was a says here helicopter made in the U.S. Here's the outside of it. It's really extraordinary, large bonsai, if you can say that. Framed trees. There are dozens of these all along the grounds here. There are the tanks. It's a Jade Emperor Pagoda from Saigon, built by the Chinese in 1909. Both Confucius and their Taoist Buddhism. Fire here is where they burn a room off to the side that it's the same way the Chief Hotel. Around it are 10 carved figures which represented the different 10 different parts of hell. Each dispensing a special kind of punishment for those who are evil. Here's the other side. And there's his red horse.